Welcome back to my channel. Today I am at the Calico ghost town in Calico, California. This was a thriving mining town for a whopping 12 years. It was founded in 1881 and they mined silver and borax. This is one of the last remaining original mines in the entire western United States. Now a lot of the buildings here are a recreation, but there are some of the original buildings from the 1880s. So let's take a look around. First, let's go back in time to the 1880s. John C. King was the sheriff of San Bernardino County, which was then, and still is today, the largest county in the U.S. He grub-staked 3 miners who discovered the first silver vein while they were following a lost horse. And the town was born. But what to name it? In 1881, the town had just 40 residents. At a town hall meeting to give the town a name, one guy shouted that the hills were purty as a gal's calico skirt, and Calico was named. By 1887, there were 1,200 people living here with 500 mines, 1 school, a newspaper, 3 hotels, 5 general stores, 22 saloons, and a red light district. The silver mines were all profitable and life was good. Until the government stopped buying silver in the mid-1890s to instead bolster its gold reserves. It was no longer profitable to mine silver, and almost overnight, the silver mines were shut down. After that, borax was mined here, keeping the town alive, but borax was not as profitable as silver. In the early to mid-1900s, John C. King's nephew, Walter Knott, spent some of his teen years in the borax mines in Calico. In 1907, though, Calico's borax mining stopped when a better grade of borax was discovered elsewhere, and the town became a literal ghost town. Walter Knott had fond memories of the times he spent in Calico. Now, you may not recognize the name Walter Knott, but you've probably heard of a theme park he created, Knott's Berry Farm. Knott's Berry Farm had created a fake ghost town based on Calico in the 1940s. Knott decided that if people liked a fake ghost town, they would probably love a real ghost town. In the 1950s, he already owned most of Calico, so he bought the rest and began the project. Here's a photo of what it looked like in the 1950s before Knott began the restoration. And this is the town now. Using historical photographs and with the help of some old-timers who remembered the area, he was able to restore the buildings still standing and replace other buildings with very close replicas. In 1966, he donated the entire town of Calico to San Bernardino as a regional park. So Calico is a mix of tourist attraction and real live ghost town. The park office, which was closed, is one of the original buildings from the 1880s. I took a peek in the window though. It's really cool. This is Lil Saloon. It is one of the original buildings from the 1880s, but it wasn't a saloon back then. It was a drugstore, then a millinery, and then a drugstore again, operated by Dr. A.R. Rhea. When I saw that sign, I thought it was advertising where a miner could get help if he had diarrhea. I figured the miners didn't know how to spell diarrhea, so that's how they wrote it. Okay, don't laugh. It's not that easy to spell. This is the Zinda Mining Company, also one of the original buildings. They've turned the inside into a museum of mining stuff. In addition to all the cool things they have on display, they have this picture of real miners from that era that you can take a photo with. That's my real side, total klutz. It's pretty cool to see this stuff and appreciate the history here. Oh look, a train! I'm a sucker for trains. I love them. So of course I had to ride it. This makes you feel like you're in the Wild West, right? The train is a short loop, and they have a recording pointing out points of interest. This is one of the old mining shacks. Miners would build these shacks on the hill to be closer to the mines. Here's a view of the hills where the mines were. The colors are really beautiful. You can see how Calico got its name. This is one of the old mine entrances. It's kind of scary looking. This is one of the original ore cars that the miners used to haul ore out of the mines. The train ride was over way too soon for me, but next to the train was the entrance to Maggie Mine. This is the only mine in the area that's deemed safe enough for tourists. They close the doors behind you when you go in, and there's a rock display on the left. You can see how interested I was in that. Then they shut off the lights and you're on your own. It was pretty interesting. There were chutes like this one where ore is dropped from the upper levels. They had a system of bells to alert the miners when the ore was coming down the chute. These guys look like they're in prison, right? One of the owners of the mine was rumored to have slept in the mine in the winter. This is called the glory hole. Get your mind out of the gutter. It meant something different back then. Although, I'll be honest, I'm not exactly sure what. I think it means that $65,000 of silver came from this vein. And here's a guy all by himself in a dark alley with his plaid shirt and scruffy beard holding a sledgehammer. Yeah, that's not creepy at all. Time for me to head out of this mine and back into the sunshine. This was so much fun. I stopped by here as kind of a last-minute decision, and I'm so glad I did. There is a lot to do here and a lot to see. It's a tourist town, but it's also a slice of California history. Anyway, I hope this helps you find your adventure. Thank you for watching.